And then of course, I will be finishing.
Ooh, bitch, you better run.
Oh my god, I'm gonna have to redo that whole scene. Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a simple makeup tutorial on basically everything that I do on my own face on a daily basis. So with that, we're gonna go ahead and begin with primer. I use the YSL, the Touche Eclat Blur Primer. I love this primer. I believe it's a silicone base and it goes ahead and fills in all the lines, makes the application very nice and smooth. So I'm gonna go ahead and start with that. I apply about this much. And I'm going to go ahead and apply a little bit of eyeshadow primer for later on in the video. And I'm going to be using a little bit of the Lorac Behind the Scenes Eye Primer. Next thing I do is I color correct my facial hair, or the ashy dark color that is around a typical male's face line after shaving. And I like to use the Smashbox color correcting stick in the orange color. I'll go under my eyes with a eye blending brush for underneath. So after color correcting, the next thing I like to do is go ahead and apply my foundation. I use the Hourglass foundation in the color Vanilla. And I do my neck as well. Nobody wants to have a floating face of makeup. Now I do have a Morphe M439 brush, and sometimes I'll use that for my foundation, but what I have actually liked doing lately is using a cream foundation brush, preferably a flat one that's nice and thick. And I like to go ahead and press in the places that I need the most coverage. I kind of notice with the Morphe brush that it blends out somewhat too much foundation, and then I have to relayer. So using a flat foundation brush has worked a little bit better for me, and then I just go over later on with that brush. I'm gonna go ahead and check my foundation. Alright guys, so now I have primed, I've color corrected, I've applied my foundation. Next I like to use my highlighter. Now I use the Tarte Shape Tape. I use the same color as Jeffree Star, nice and bright, to illuminate the face. And of course this is going to be for brightening, not necessarily, you know, the glamorous glowing highlight that I'll do later. Both called highlight, this is slightly different. And I like to do the dot method, like I see a lot of other makeup artists do. I wonder what the hell is the cost. Now, I used a flat brush like this for the foundation, but I'm going to use a more rounded flat brush so that I can really press in the product. I don't want it to move around too much. So therefore, I always start with my chin. And what we're doing by highlighting these areas is creating more of a, I want to say it's like a diamond shaped face, where your cheekbones are going to come out, your chin, your forehead. Typically all of these are more of a, maybe an effeminate look, and you see a lot of makeup artist doing this. Now I will go back in with my under eye brush. I just really like to press in the pigment so that it's not going anywhere.
Yeah, I won't accept this life if fate is given. So find a way to get along.
Kind of use the tip on my under eye brush to just kind of go along the top of my nose like that. No, I like the shape of my nose. I don't usually do I don't do any contouring. I just highlight the top. A lot of people will contour along this part right here and then highlight the top to give more of a defined pointed nose, but like I said, I only personally highlight it. So now that I've gotten my T-zone nice and bright, what do I do next? Next, I begin my contour. Now, I have two different types of contour. I have the Too Faced contour right here. Use the lightest shade, and it is called Milk Chocolate Soleil. But I also use the Kevyn Aucoin bronzer in the color Light. I really like this guy. I like to use this one when I want more of a drastic, sort of a cool toned cut for nighttime. But I think for today, for this video, I'm going to show you what I can do with the Too Faced as far as the bronzer. Now I have two different bronzing brushes. I use the Morphe M523, and this one is really good for blending out so you don't have any harsh lines. However, when I usually first apply the contour, I will start off by using a thinner brush. To apply my basic contour, I start off with the CoverFX Cream Foundation or Cream Contour Brush. I like this guy to start off with before blending with my Morphe contouring brush because I really want to create a line. I have more of an oblong rounded face, so I don't really have cheekbones, so I really like to cut these out. This helps with the cutting. I go ahead and I press in here. Pretty light, not too scary. Go ahead and apply the line, and then of course I trace up my sideburn area, and then also to make the forehead appear more soft, you just trace around your hairline, bring it down. Like such. Then I'm going to repeat on the other side. Now it may look a little bit harsh right now, but I'm going to go ahead and blend that out with my Morphe brush. Now that I've contoured my cheekbones, and I've traced around my hairline very lightly, the next thing I'll do, and I did learn this from a drag queen, it has nothing to do with drag, but it's just a great way to shape your face. I have a very, how would you say, petite or a non-prominent chin. So it's very easy for me to have a little bit of a double chin at the slight bit angle. So I go ahead and I trace around my jawline with my bronzer. And this is used in a lot of other makeup. The drag queens will do this so that they can cut their jaw to appear whatever shape they need it to be. But this is just a very soft, less drastic version. And I'm doing daytime makeup as well. I kind of trace down the chin right here, guys, just to create more of a shadow. So as you can see, it already starts to look like I have more of a slightly prominent chin. And depending on what kind of face shape that you have or want to get, you can always cut off the corner right here and just kind of round it out. Alright, now that I've done that, I'm going to go ahead and blend it out with my Morphe brush. And I might just add a little bit more too, depending. kind of notice that I went a little bit further in with my my contour right here than I did right here, but it's perfectly fine. What I'll do is just kind of remove some of the contour with a foundation brush. Blend it out some more. And believe it or not, the highlight that I'll go in and use afterwards, my highlighter, it will also kind of diffuse the line. So now that I have my contour, what I'm gonna go ahead and do is use a little bit of my HD Makeup Forever loose powder, and I'm going to, with a angled brush, an angled cream foundation brush, I'm gonna lightly press inside the powder like such. And I'm gonna cook. Now this helps set your foundation, and it also helps you cut the line so you can have a little bit more of a definition. Now I will go in with my Becca Luminizer today in the color Moonstone. I'm using my Morphe 510 brush. Nice and fluffy, very popular brush. And I'm gonna lightly just kind of swirl inside. Tap, tap. Trace along the top of the contour. And a lot of makeup artists will typically kind of blend it almost into the contour. Go along the upper side of your sideburn and the top of the eyebrow. Some people like to go a little bit underneath the eyebrow, and you'll see why that's also used later on in this video. Now the magic is you can go as heavy or as light as you want. If you don't want to be too glitz and glammy, you can always go a little bit lighter too, along the top of my nose. And then watch this. I'm gonna make my Cupid's bow right here a little bit more prominent by dusting it with highlighter along the top. Please don't inhale with your nose when you do this. Now it's just slightly more prominent. And you can do your T-zone, you know, cheekbone, cheekbone, right here, right here. You can do a little bit right here. I kind of have an oily forehead, so try and limit that. So what I like to do for my sultry eye makeup is I take a a pointed brush such as this. I like to use my Naked Basics by Urban Decay, my mini palette that I have right here. And I like to use the color Naked 2 as the foundation of what I'm going to use. And I use a little dot of Faint. So I'll do 1, 2, half a dot of Faint, tap it on my wrist. I already kind of have darker underneath of my eye right here by naturally, but I'm just going to go ahead and enhance that. Now, I kind of only focus on this outer part right here. I don't really do the inner part, since in a lot of other makeup, you'll notice that it's actually highlighted right here. And the way I check it, you can't really see because I have natural lighting, but I'll kind of go like a sly bitch and I'll go. And if it makes my lower lashes look a little bit thicker, kind of like, then I know that I have done what I was attempting to do. So now that I've done my under eyeshadow, I'm going to go ahead and use my new palette, and we're going to go ahead and try some fun colors. I just got this last night, so I don't know how this is going to completely look. But I got my Lorac Unzipped Gold palette right here. Some really beautiful creamy colorful shades. So I'm going to go ahead and start off with the base, and I'm going to go ahead and do Unlocked for today. So unlocked is this really beautiful shimmery gold color right here. I'm going to use my Japanesque little fluffy brush. I'm just going to trace my eyelid right here. Now typically what I would do on a normal basis, since I told you this is my everyday look, is I've been using Tartelette Tease, and I just go in with the color First Kiss, which is this middle one right here. And then I just do 2 little splashes of that. I'll kind of just go like that. Now I start off in the corner and kind of just trace the top. And check with my mirror. I like how that's looking. Remember guys, blending is key. I'm gonna do the same on the other side. My feet are going numb underneath my ass, just so you guys know. Now that I've done everything, I'm gonna go ahead and finish off with my 2 last things I like to do. And this one's gonna be more technical. And this is my eyebrows. I do my eyebrows last because, I don't know, I just like to. And I do 4 brushes for my eyebrows. Now this one is from IT Cosmetics. It's called the Angled Liner Brow Brush. And I use it for exactly that. I use my Anastasia Dip Brow in the color Soft Brown. This dip brow is kind of weird. If you guys have used this before, you know that this shit can go on pretty damn heavy. So I tap it a few times. I like it when it's not super fresh and it's not going to give you a lot of pigment. I'll apply a little bit on my thumb just so I can kind of draw out a line to a softer brown color that I'm comfortable with. I don't want to have like those black, scary ass eyebrows. Alright, now I'm using a mirror for this, guys, sorry. I like to start right here for some reason. And I start with my tops. I know some people start with their bottoms. And this is the first time using a hand mirror to do this, so. A little bit underneath. Anyway, I'm going to use my eye detailer brush from God knows where, C470. I'm going to apply it in my super used Benefit Brow Palette, the light color, a couple dabs in the powder, and I'm going to trace the eyebrow. Now I like to leave this part a little bit naked-ish, and you'll see why at the end. Nobody wants like a solid block for an eyebrow. Everybody likes that blended look. Or maybe you don't. Go heavier on the powder in this area that you need to be like, well, this is my hair. I don't wear wigs. No, I'm just kidding. This is my eyebrow hair. I'm not lying to you guys and drawing a whole eyebrow that does not belong to me. Okay. So... Ooh, oh my god. Oh my god. Okay, nobody saw this. Did you guys see that? Yeah, I can't work with that. I'm just gonna go ahead and pretend that did not happen. Oh my god. Oh my god. But I can fix this, guys. I went to school for this shit. So now that I have a fucking glob of Anastasia Dip Brow right there on my fucking eyebrow, I'm gonna blend this shit. Mirror, mirror on the wall. Fix this bitch. And don't let me stall. I get a little bit more of my Marc Jacobs, a little bit of that foundation minus the big fat hair on the end of this brush. I'm gonna trace underneath of my eyebrows in the mirror. This is my under eyebrow highlight. Trace the outer tail. I'm gonna go along the tops. And get those little crazy baby hairs. And now I'm going to do my finishing touches that I just remembered that I needed to do. So I'm going to take my Becca Luminizer and use my little Japanesque brush. And then my last but not least, actually, what I'll do for you guys today, something I do sometimes. Alright, last but not least, like I said, my Tom Ford, my Rose Crush Ultra Shine Lip Gloss. And then of course, I will be finishing. Oh my god, I'm gonna have to redo that whole scene. And this concludes my super long tutorial. Hopefully you guys had some takeaway from this video and are able to try a technique or two on yourselves. If you have any questions on what other products I use and what are my go-tos as far as skin treatments and or hair treatments, please let me know. I would love to have that conversation with you guys. Down beneath on my comment section, please like, subscribe, and see you guys in my next video. Mwah.